I wonder if there's anybody who actually thinks that this is an album. This is a cool idea I had for like a long form solo podcast. Yeah. Just you and I hanging out, vibing, you and my voice. Just having a good old time talking about everything that I've gone through in the past year and cannot wait to create within this new year. All just awesome. Just awesomeness, That's a great way to start off this little podcast. Illusions. Is yeah. So it's like at certain points I want to timestamp this. I want this to be so solid. So I'm gonna have it broken up to make it, easy to edit. If you hear like clips or cuts in the audio, that's where I'm stopping it and labeling each clip of audio. But that's me. It's like this funny, like, to me it's funny how maybe people would view that as like unprofessional to tell you like what I'm gonna do in post edit, but I just feel like it's so raw and I love doing that. Maybe that's my uniqueness or part of it. But this little segment right here will be called the intro. So welcome to the introduction. Let's just talk about 2023 in general. Right off the bat, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm going to keep it 100% a buck, a $100, a $1 bill, a singular Uno digit in the front, 2 0 Morse code, 0 0 ones and zeros, all like this world. When you start to really, really pay attention, it's just you pushed out everything, absolutely everything in your existence. And when you start to rebel against your current reality, like I'm really talking, when you begin to rebel against what you're seeing and understand that the person you see in your imagination, that true you, that true wonderful imagination that's yours, that they try to suck out of you with all these social media platforms pulling your attention away from so much shit. And is why I say, no matter if you're partying, drinking, whatever you're doing, enjoy yourself, have a good time. But like, if any of this consumes your life to the point where it's on a pattern, or it's gotta be the way you have fun, or just like if you're scrolling on TikTok, whatever it may be, whatever these things are, try to discipline yourself. If you're true, oh man, I'm got my throat. I'm over here like choking on my spit to literally explain, like, you guys have to be built different if you want to create your dream life. You have to be built different. The same things that you're doing, the same patterns you're repeating will not work to create whatever you want to come to you. It won't. And we're gonna get into some things that I've experienced, and we're gonna get a little bit deep on here, and also just talk about funny things. It's not gonna get too wild, matrixy and stuff, but you do have to start understanding that we are all one power. No matter what you believe in, we're all from the same source. And whatever happened down here, it's like a battle on Earth. But Earth is supposed to be a playground of all beings, man, and that's what it is. Regardless of what you believe in, whatever. Like, they got the religious people, which is so funny. They got these motherfuckers distracted with Satan, bro. And Satan is just another form of them. They got them running from shadows and the lower side of their vibration so much that you end up having the people that don't deal with their worst sides of themselves and their trauma doing the most heinous acts. And then you got the ones who do understand the game, who are like, they're doing heinous acts and they know what it is. People thinking the devil got into them. And it's like, when you hear people, like anyone, even artists, talk about it, when they're referring to the devil, they're literally talking about their lower nature. But I guess it really takes a true mind's eye to see that. Because I'd be talking about me too. Like, people, like, literally, a lot of people don't know that melanin and demon are the same word. And when I learned this, I was like, oh my goodness. That means literally, and I think I forgot where this came from, but I don't know if it was the Bible or something. But literally in one of those scriptures, it was printed like that. That's no accident. Whoever man-made crafted that version of the Bible, it was one. It's just, I don't know what iteration of it, but it was popular. It literally says that melanin and demon are the fucking same word. Meaning by terms, just all black people are all things with melanin in it, because melanin is a cosmic substance. Are demons. Like, that's crazy. Like, yet the Bible also says ye are gods, we are gods. Like, they're telling you right in front of your face. It's within you. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those really obvious things to me that it's like that I'm just realizing going into this whole new year and stuff. It's just like this new energy floods in and everything. And it's like, I'd be thinking about that. If the mind is so powerful to create realities and then the mind is all, I'd just be laughing when people think like, but maybe that's why it's so powerful. Like, people believe in an afterlife so powerful when we're like the living dead now, but people believe so powerful and have these strong mindsets that the things they do here is gonna create that other world, right? In terms of like, if you're not having a good time here, you're gonna die and go to a better place. It's like, no lie, dying here, like not being able to let go of all the human shit and everything that happens here, gonna bring your ass right back here. You're gonna create a world so powerful because you just can't forget this world. And that's why it's funny. And it's funny when I think about so many people who talk about manifestation in yourself, in itself is literally telling people how to die, because it's telling you to ignore the 3D. And I just think that's really funny, because to truly die and become your true self, like an ego death, you would have to reject the world in front of you. So it's just funny. It's just weird. All these correlate like things I'm finding coming in the new year. But this is the energy I'm going in the new year with, man. I feel unstoppable. I feel like I could create anything. I feel like anybody listening to this is the same thing. It's just like, yo, don't buy into the illusions in this world going into this whole new year. Like, don't buy into any of this shit. It's a scam. It is truly just a scam, bro. The true world is within you, and that's why you hear a lot of people saying they gotta go inner, summon the God within you, because anything outside of yourself is a scam, bro. It's the stuff that you put in place to basically realize this one day. Even me. Like, you guys, anyone watching this video in the beginning, or this video resonates with anyone, well, you put me in place to make this video so you could hear this, whether it's contrast or not, whether you don't like what I'm saying or whether you do. You manifested me simultaneously in this dream so you could hear this too. But in my reality, I'm just in a room, but someone out there is calling for me. See what I'm saying? It's co-creators. We're all co-creators. Like, I would have nothing to talk about if it was only me here. And that's another thing I'm starting to realize. Which that'll bring me into my next topic. See y'all in the next song. I love how I set this up. Man, I feel so creative for this. So I think this will be the perfect part to talk about illusions, since, I was trying to go into the whole 2023. I kind of started rambling there, but illusions and the whole idea behind doing this is like some like a mock cover album and stuff like that. It's just like, yo, this world is so full of illusions. Like, the 3D is an illusion itself, and it's so funny when you start actually picking up on synchronicities and things start happening, and you start realizing that, holy shit, this is one big ass mushroom trip. Like, life is one big ass trip. And then if you're stuck, and I'm not even gonna lie, if you're stuck in that cycle of like working a job you don't like or all of that, that's like part of the system, part of the trip that's could be really in place now, to make you realize there's got to be something more, because it's literally like eating at your soul. And I've come to a point, like, and it's not even just that. There's so many systems in play. Like, that's just one. But then there's the media too. Like, this year for y'all really has to be the year of slicing through these illusions, like really cutting through the illusions, because you can get distracted. Like, you are getting distracted. And that's why I tell people, like, one of the biggest things to start with, since music is such a role, is be so careful with the music you listen to. If you're not able to separate it as just purely entertainment. Like, people who cannot do that should not be listening to music, because the music is influential. It is influencing. It is going straight into your subconscious. You be really feeling them lyrics. You be saying them hard as hell. And because of that emotional charge, since reality is an emotional mirror, you know, I might call this part that you have charged what you were saying into, like, you know, and the music, and it's not all things, because like vibrations and all that, you tune it yourself. But right, some people be listening to music for the wrong reasons. And I seen a post, and it was really funny, of a guy who was talking about this in a school. Like, you know, he said when these people talk about going to slide on their oppositions or things like that, do you think they're pulling up to them listening to Beethoven? No. And why is that? Because it's by design. But that's the thing too. It's crazy to even know that fucking the whole music industry is fucking, well, that's another topic, but engineered anyways. Like, I'm not lying. If you're an artist, be independent, hands down. Work as hard as you gotta work, which might not even be hard depending on your beliefs. Can make it easy. It's probably, you know what I've learned? If you're truly passionate about something, it comes easy. Like, hands down, it comes easy. It's not hard for me to get up and dance. It's not hard for me to get up and make videos. It's really not. The part that is human about that is the doubt that tries to come. But it is not hard. It's not hard. Some people ask me, how do you make 6 videos a day, or how are you doing this? And it's not hard for me. I literally am passionate about sharing my ideologies and stuff, because I felt like I was a mind that was just brought here to do this. I've been being called wise by teachers since 14, even younger. Just the things that I went through. I know that I set those up so that I could be here doing this. But really, man, back on topic about cutting through illusions, like, this is all the illusion. This is all distraction. And if you're someone who doesn't listen to music like that, but you're in an environment where people are playing things that, like, feel low vibrational and shit to you, just in your own personal aspect, don't think about what's going on with them. Just focus on the inner you, because that's something coming from inside. And when you get to that point where this shit truly doesn't affect you, you know you've done it. It truly just does not affect you. But, you know, that's all. It's all a level of discipline. All of this is disciplining yourself to truly get what you want. And the thing is, the best part about it is like, fucking Egyptians knew this forever. It's know thyself. And you would not believe it. Some people, they don't need to hear it. Like, they only need to hear it once and they can do it. But you would not believe me. So many people would not believe me if I told you the hardest work you will do in your life, because it is rocket science, is learning yourself. Hands down. The inner workings, digging depths within yourself. People act like, oh, well, yeah, that's so obvious, self-love and stuff. No, some people that even say that they practice self-love and shit don't even got a grasp on what self-love is. Hands down. Hands down, I've seen it. I've seen so many, and that's why it's so funny to just look. I've laughed at it now. I used to get triggered by this, but I laugh at people who are just follow the spiritual trend of things, because it's like, you'll talk to them and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm into all this, but yeah, I'm depressed, or yeah, I'm this, and yeah, I'm that. And I'm like, well, how long have you been practicing? Like, well, I've always been spiritual. I'd be like, what? It'd just be confusing me sometimes. But then, you know, also, I always have to revert back to, I understand that everyone is where they're at in their journey, and this is a path you walk alone. But it's just funny to me, because it's like, when you have an awakening, yeah, it's crazy. Shit hits the fan. But then after, you should feel so empowered, because if you know this is all truly your mind, I guess that's a lot to take in for people at times, I'm not going to lie. But if you truly know that this is just all your mind, then it should be so easy to take back power over your mind, because you can't control the external. The external only changes from internal. And like I say this, and I only say this because I rep him as a mentor so hard. I still don't do this for ego. It's because I truly, one of the biggest to do it in the world told me this himself. It is cause and effect. I won't even say his name here, but I had a really tight, I still do have a tight connection. Just one of the biggest artists to ever do it and ever walk away from this stuff for the truth. And he told me it is cause and effect. The world is cause and effect. You see what's in your mind, and the effect is this external world. So if you are able to cut out this external world, cut this illusion off, you will have no, like, it's literally the universe has to bend to your will. And I'm going to get into that because I'm going to go into relationships off this one. Because, this will be a big chunk of the video, but I feel like this is a good one to walk into. Yeah, I feel like this is a good one to walk into. But this what we're going into is a big one with illusions and everything, and I'm gonna tell you just why. It's just so nuts. And then I'm gonna get into what I create. Well, we'll be there when we arrive at it, but I'm telling you, if everything is cause and effect, all of this is scientific. Every single fucking different form of language has a name for it. And what I mean is like scientific, like whether it be the placebo effect, whether it be this. Honestly, yeah, let's go into that and then get into relationships. So we're gonna go into really creating this and understanding that everything is you. And I'm gonna give you examples from my own life, even though I've made tons of videos on it by now. But let's go over there. Woo wee! Oh my gosh! All right. Illusions and how things are not coincidences. Damn, I forgot where I left off. Literally because I could have just played the other one back. I was just eating some Cracker Barrel. Oh, schmack. Cracker Barrel hit different, especially that Mama's French toast breakfast. Whoo! Something about it different. But then my boy was out there on the couch, and he said he found like this Velma and Scooby-Doo thing. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about shows and animes later, but man, it was like this twist of Velma. You guys ever seen it? It's like Velma, but like it's an edgy Scooby-Doo, or I guess like, well, how it looks portrayed is like they grew up, but not. It doesn't make any sense, because I thought they were in high school in the original Scooby-Doos anyways, or they were out of school. No, they were in school. Either way. In this one, it's like a whole twist on it. Velma was just like, it was like the show was Rick and Morty. I'm not even kidding. Caught me off guard. But yeah, so anyways, back to this is, if you really step back and you can see everything. Like even that instance right there, like taking a break and eating, every moment of your life is literally divine. I mean, I know there are you that sit there and be like, how are we even here? And I really think it's just to enjoy all of this, like all aspects, but then to leave it. I truly think we're meant to come here, learn how to manipulate energy, and move on. Because, right, if we're all the source, if we're all gods, right? And after this, you could create any world you want. You would have to not let your consciousness get trapped down here again. So you'd have to truly understand you're a god. Like I remember watching a video of someone or a really cool mentor. I was going to say of someone, just because I reference him so much that I wanted to switch it up. But where he was talking about this, it was like, if this shit tells you are gods, but like it's a whole reincarnation cycle that we're stuck in, just stop reincarnating. But see, it's all the stuff that keeps your ass here. Anyways, I said we stop getting deep and I would show you examples. So, like in my life, here's an example of something that happened just yesterday. And this is why it's so important, the stuff you fall asleep with. Literally, I said the night before, and I think this just happened yesterday, and I'm trying to think the day before. So the day before, I'm like, yo, I literally manifested $30,000 in under like 3 weeks and a car. I literally fell asleep 3 nights, and then the guy I met, really cool soul I met, told me like even the Bible says it, and that's how you know it's like the guidebook of science on how to do this. The Lord rose on the third day. I don't know, because I haven't broken down the Bible. Not my reason I incarnated here. I really do believe I'm meant to know the knowledge naturally and organically, and it's always come through me like that, especially being someone who has visions. But you guys have seen those. If you guys haven't seen my videos, I've called so much shit that happens, and that's what brings me here to talking about this right now. It's because it's like I started lacking on my attraction game. Like, I mean, I never stopped attracting things. I just lost focus, but things were still creating from my mind. And here's an example. So before I went to bed, I said this in my head. I said, okay, I live with my two like brothers, one an actually family member and one who became blood through I chose just the covenant. I said that weird, and before I went to sleep, I said, okay, well, let me make a realistic like a scenario that's close but real enough where I can make it manifest in an instant, right? And usually with some things I can. So last night, or the night before this day happened, I went to sleep imagining my one bro that I stay with, like bringing me money, like opening the door and like being like, oh, here, I meant to give you this, right? But I didn't specify it. So I'm just saying it like that so you can visualize him like opening a door and handing me money, right? I didn't do specifics. I just wanted to see if my mind was really creating all this, because I was like, holy shit, like I know, like I've seen evidence time and time again, and I've been so faithful, but for some reason I started losing faith, and I know exactly why, because we're going to get into that later of why I started having doubts. And this is why I tell you it's about protecting your energy. There are really people that are around you sometimes that your thoughts are not yours, because I'm sitting here going like, bro, I can't doubt this. Like, I literally told someone, oh yeah, I know you had a miscarriage, and they were like, holy shit, how the fuck did you know that? Because I'm tapped in. Like, it's just crazy. So I'm like, why was I doubting myself now? But anyways, long story short is the next day, literal next day, I'm sitting here meditating, whatever. I'm just vibing. And I'm just chilling to myself. I'm like, yo, I'm probably going to stream, probably going to work on some more videos, because I cannot stop making videos. And my man knocks on the door. And I don't even know if he knocked this time or opened it. But he opened it just like in my imaginational act before I went to bed. But because I didn't specify, he didn't specifically give me money. He was asking for change for 50. And I didn't have it. But the thing that was just funny was just like, and it's funny too, because I usually have cash on me. I love doing things in cash. I don't like cards. But it's funny how that's also switched in my life. But I almost think because of my emotional charge of not liking to do things with cards so much, I ended up like, this was a period of my life where I ended up using my card so fucking much. It was so funny. And I always usually do things in cash. Cash is just, I don't know. I just like something about cash. But it was funny because he opened the door and did that, and my jaw dropped, bro. I was stunned. I couldn't even I was trying to gather myself to be like, oh yeah, hang on. Let me get my wallet and see if I can check. And I was so shocked, like, stuck in my mind that this happened, because it is true. Your imagination is creating a reality, so especially what you go to sleep with. And why I wanted to do relationships in this second part, because it's all simple. It's all the same thing. Like me, I said in my videos, I am really good with all my exes, at least in my reality. But I've literally talked to a lot of them, and it's crazy to hear what some of them, like I've had in the past, someone like an ex talk to one of my new girlfriends, or just like on that level, just, I don't know, weird occurrence, maybe synchronicity, I'm not sure. And literally they don't say anything bad about me. And then I would hear people say like, their ex would just say the most disgusting things or try to ruin things for them. And I just feel like I always ran into mature people, and I guess that's because of me, because me growing up when I was young, I always felt ahead of my time. Like, I was always looking for a wife when I was young. So so sometimes relationships hit me different. Love is love, and I was always in that, always looking past the material, the physical. I've always been like that, and I really find deep connections with people. And I've never, like, I got cheated on like once, and even that, in that space, it wasn't even like a cheat, right? Because when I think back to it, it wasn't even like a scenario. It was like kind of like me and the girl were on and off, but then she went and seen her ex. But it was like, oh, we were still kind of together. But you know, it was at a crazy time too. It was, man, I was homeless and living with this girl in high school, still remaining on high honor roll in school and trying to keep honor roll. Like, not even trying, it came natural because school was easy to me, man. I felt like a scholar, but trying to keep my mind strong through all that. So I was going through an intense period. So it was just susceptible. I couldn't pick up on things. But when I think back to a lot of my relationships, I like once. It was only one time I could recall where someone was truly unfaithful, and that's because of my heart. I could never cheat on somebody. So I just really realized that beliefs and feelings really create your reality. Like, they just really do. If you're really, like, full of yourself and say you attract someone, well, you're going to attract someone who's full of themselves also. Or, like, you're just going to attract what you are. So, you know, at that time, I was really down and low self-esteem about myself. So, of course, that was susceptible to happen to me. And it's crazy because in between that time, I let go of someone who was really, really good for me, which I really could consider like my first love. But it's insane how how the levels happen. It's like, yeah, when you fall down, anything you attract, you got to pay attention to what may attract around that time and always try to remain in a higher vibration. And I'm all good now, but I just mean like all the things you attract in your daily life are literally because of you. And we're co-creators. So, and that's something that's too with the bro who brought the money to the door asking for change. We had a crazy day where we were talking about the concepts of all this and like self-sabotage and good and evil. And in my mind, I literally said, yo, good and evil reminds me like the health bars you see in Street Fighter, right? Now, I had this thought and did not say it out loud. This is how you know we are all psychically connected and linked, and it's a collective consciousness. My man, the next second says, yo, it's like a health bar. And I said, bro, my mouth dropped. I was mind blown. And I was like, bro, it just gets me every time. Even though I know what it is, it gets me every time. It's just something that can't be explained. But that's what I was thinking in my mind, but I thought it was stupid, so I didn't want to say it. I was like, yo, really, good and evil are really like a health bar, and how they have the health bar going from green to red, and how it's basically on the spectrum. It's the same thing on the same spectrum, because if you're a good person, well, you're also an evil person, and if you're an evil person, you're also good, because they're the same. They're two sides of the same coin. Funny enough, a coin literally having two faces. And even if the other side didn't have a face, that's still the opposing side. It's like, you know, it's crazy. Like, everything has a back and a front. There's an inside and an outside. And it's just like wild to me, because that's also a trap they got you in. Duality is a trap, you know. Stay in the middle. Stay in the center. Good and bad things come throughout life, right? But if you could stay on the frequency of realizing your greatest dreams, it will create with the challenges that come with it, but yet you still get that dream life. And I think that you only experience really duality down here, because I definitely know there are realms that are probably completely on fire, but then there's also realms that are completely heavenly. And it just depends on where you want to exist. Because there are motherfuckers living here, heaven on earth. You know what's funny and really ironic about saying that is, like, these companies that are doing all this shit that people are keeping them distracted. It's really like weird that like sometimes the people in these companies, and I don't even blame them. Like, it's been messed up, but like they could be living on heaven on earth. And the people who just really are for truth don't want to be doing things for these people, so they become like the whistleblowers. But in those people's realities, they're not doing anything wrong. They're just maximizing on the cattle down here. Like, you are cattle. And that's the biggest thing of like escaping this whole matrix and freeing your mind, is that the point is the world is you, and you don't need wealth or riches to escape the matrix. And that's another thing that I want to say, is that's also why I recently did my Andrew Tate video, because I was just like, so many people send me his things and just tell me to make videos on him, and I'm like, bro, there's nothing to say. Like, a lot, he says good things and he says things that are iffy. He contradicts and doesn't contradict. But the point is he's got a message, and he's delivering it, and he's doing his thing, just like me. I may say some things that are really wild at times. You could probably find it in my old videos where I've said some crazy shit. Said shit that I basically sounds like I'm saying now, but like it would make me look like I knew what I was talking about way further back then than I did now, and like I slipped up. Because like there are versions of me that were completely beastly in moments, Like when I created the 30,000, if I was able to stay in that vibration now, I couldn't even imagine what I'd be doing. But I fell off for a little bit, and that happens. We have the highs and the lows. But now I feel like in this new year, I'm at that high point of energy again. But the point is you're creating all of it. You're even creating the days to see Andrew Tate. Like people are creating. The reason he's getting so much force and can't stop it is the people too at the same time, because we're co-creators. So just like I was saying in the beginning, you manifested me to see this, like to make this. That's exactly what he's like. And if you have enough people feeding you the attention, well, where attention goes, attention grows, and the thing that the attention on grows. I don't know how the saying is that they say it, but it's just so true. I've seen it. The more attention you pay to things, they will grow. And there is such thing, but isn't at the same time. There's those things that'll grow in the shadows. Is because it's like, I just know you cannot control external reality. So if something is going to grow in the shadows, it's going to grow. And we're going to hop off that bridge when we get to it. But at the same time, like, we handle what we can in the moment. And that's mostly through your reactions to what's happening to you. And that's it. You can't really do much more. Like, I noticed that, like, bills and everything. Like, The Secret, when you watch The Secret really... it breaks it down in a simple way, but some people I don't even know. Some people like disagree with The Secret or say The Secret was lying. Like, you don't always got to be positive. Blah, 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 blah. It's all on you though. It's all for you to decide because you're the God. But one thing I like about The Secret is when they were talking about bills, and that's simply how relationships work too. Like, we're gonna get there, but I remember hearing a Toby song where he talked about it, where he was like, my homie said he really wants a wife, but got so many hoes, and the way he said it, and he was like, because it's like literally saying, where is your attention going? So like, like you be saying like, girls be tripping, girls be this, that. Okay, well, they have to play the role you believe them to be. But that's never been a case for me. Like, I've never had wild out, like, not like I've had girls that were insecure and things like that, and that's because of an insecurity within myself. Like, I realized it, and when I got over the insecurities, they fell off out of my life. Like, they couldn't be there no longer because I didn't feel insecure about myself. I had like an insecure, people would call me handsome so much. Oh well, I'm going off topic, but this is just more of like your mind is creating it, so I guess we'll keep it in topic. But people would call me handsome so much to the point where I didn't actually think I was handsome, and it had like an inverse effect where I believed that like it was like this just huge joke that like, okay, they're just saying this, or like blah blah blah, and then it would turn into like, I have a baby face, I never age. Just weird. It just like created these weird feelings within myself. But after I got over that shit and said, I don't care, I'm sexy, whatever, who cares, it just died out. It died out. Like, the people I would attract and talk to would have the similar mindsets. So it's like, yeah, if you call girls hoes, you talk about bitches, you're going to attract that. It is what it is. You're going to attract that. Because I never had, like talked or, like, well, probably talked many times, but never had an interaction where I got with anyone deep, and I was sitting here like, yo, nah, this person's too smooth, too good. Like, this, like, oh, she's sneaky. She gonna do something to me. All that, like, rah-rah ratchet shit. Like, I never experienced it. I like nipped that shit in the bud because, at my heart, I'm white. I'm kidding. But that was another thing when I was younger too, man. Like, I had a friend named Noah. I guess he was Spanish, Mexican, something. Spanish, I think. I remember getting in the car with him and his mom, and he was like, I swear, I just never met a black person like a black, I forgot what he said, but she said, what do you mean? Like, and this showed that, like, I guess he had a good mom, or maybe that was the universe coming through her. But she, like, healed his perspective immediately. She was like, yo, just because he talks proper doesn't mean, like, he's white, like a white black person. But I knew he was joking. But it really is funny. It's like we code switch, or whatever that saying is that we call it. But like that, I just articulate my words so well. It just doesn't mean I'm white. But I used to get that all the time. That I'm either black, like I'm black white, or white black. It just does not matter. But I always thought that shit was funny. But it's just, you get your reality will play out what you believe yourself to be. And I've always seen myself as a warden, a knight, valiant. I always seen the girls that I get as like they will be my queen. They would be for me. They would ride for me. And I've had some of the best relationships in my life. I'm not gonna lie. You know, and that's just what it is. That's what it is. You know. I don't know, and like I of course, like with every relationship comes like your trials and tribulations because they're complex, of course, but I will not say that I didn't enjoy and was grateful for every experience, because to me that's the joy of this is almost like experiencing different realities until you actually meet the one, learning somebody's like almost like the with the depth that you learn yourself. It's cool to meet someone who's also learning themselves in that depth if they're not distracted by the world, because I've had that too. Obviously a lot of people are distracted, but I feel like the girls that I definitely met had these different views on the world. I don't know, and yeah, I have nothing but gratitude for the whole experience, because it's like gratitude is also a way to help you let go too. And I don't know, maybe there are people out there still holding grudges against me. Couldn't it be me? I'm not losing sleep. I don't know. But the truth is then, you know, this shit is all you. Like, it's really you. And you create, and things pop up in your reality to validate what you believe. So, like, that's why I was getting on the whole thing about The Secret. Is like bills. When bills show up in your life, well, they show up to validate what you're upset about. Right? But if you're not worried about the bills, they will start to take care of themselves, or things will just work out. Like that's what's amazing too. If you could really embody that, it would change. Like, I'm not lying to you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it if you ignore it. Because the amount of time it takes, time is not real. It's a concept. So whatever, if it feels like things are taking too long and you're focusing on that, then it's going to keep taking long. Not only that, if you're thinking that it won't work, like, there's just self-doubt in the concept. Like, it's like you got to be able to persist and be so consistent that you change your concept of yourself, where it's like every bill is handled. Nah, like these bills are already paid, they're already taken care of. If you can consistently really feel that and believe that day by day, you never know. It could be instant, it could be tomorrow that all of a sudden you get a check that covers that bill to the exact cent. You never know, but you have to be in it. That's the work. That's the sacrifice. That's the action. That's putting the mental discipline. Because a lot of people can't do that. They'll say, "Oh yeah, well I'll try." Well, there you already messed up, because you said you'll try. Just be, because you're already doing it unconsciously with everything bad. So then, switch up your language, and then when you actually go to do it, don't react. You can't start and then. Like, what if the challenge that you set in place for yourself was to get more bills? So say the moment you go to start, you get 3 more bills in the mail, and that shit, and then you just go, oh fuck, boom, you just reset your progress. Have fun at the start line again, because now you got to restart. It's like these things happen to really challenge you. But if you truly believe, and this is a quote from my bro's boss, which is a really dope quote that has stuck with me, because we are the giants. And I reacted to that song, Giants, is all this stuff is small shit to a giant. Like, you're playing out your reality you created. All right, well, then everything that comes your way is small shit to a giant. Like, what the fuck is it? What is it going to do? It's small shit to a giant. Rest in peace, Andrew Dawson. Oh, I'm going to hell for that one. Now, that situation is just insane. But, yeah. Guess we move on to the next segment. Now, taking a break from getting so deep, man. Have y'all seen the latest games coming out and animes and just everything dropping? Yo, we have to talk about Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is just... Man, I read the whole manga. And by read the whole manga, I mean I watched somebody else read the whole manga. Hate me. I cannot wait till they start getting to the other parts, especially when they fight the moon breathing dude, which is me basically. But I cannot wait. These if you literally have not watched anime, please start with Demon Slayer. See if you can get into it. Get over Zenitsu's fucking crying, and then get over like the little, like, I guess not filler parts, but like the I feel like sometimes there's a tad bit of fan service. But I mean, it's actually Mitsuri is getting destroyed in this other thing that'd be fan service, which is not even that bad. It's just the weirdest thing about nudity. Someone said, so like I heard this, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard like it's the fans getting mad at like the little nudity part of her like taking a bath in the hot springs in the new upcoming season, and they're saying like Demon Slayer is for kids. Since when the fuck was heads getting fully fucking decapitated, like, for kids? Like, what? What? Heads getting straight cut off? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, for kids? I guess so. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Maybe Japanese kids are just built different. They're built over there different in the Eastern world. They're built different. Like it's like blood and heads cutting off is simple shit. I don't know. But Demon Slayer is so fire. You need to watch Demon Slayer for your first anime, first of all. Let that be the introduction. But I think it will be hard. If you start with that, like, I think the animation of other animes would fuck you up. Like, I appreciate, like, everything, in general. So it's just, like, it's not bad for me, but I cannot, like, hands down, I will argue this all day. I don't care. It is, first of all, the stakes are crazy because they are just normal ass humans using breathing techniques to fight overpowered demons. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, the demons are weak, so like the breathing techniques, the hone in their body, the discipline, already inspirational. Makes it like, holy shit, the stakes are crazy. Like, they could get killed. The demons regenerate. And then it's so cool to see how they break down the certain styles, because it's like, they're literally explaining almost like if you can take the message from it, it's literally like they're explaining that there's all paths lead to the same thing. Like, they're all right, or they're all like derived from the moon and the sun breathing. And it's funny because they say the sun, which is, if you literally look at real life, like, the sun gives life to all. And even like, religions, philosophies that believe the sun is just the shit, and we absorb the sun. It's like they're trying to literally say that in Demon Slayer. Like, it's all really us. Like, I love how these shows do this, and it's more shows than Demon Slayer, but that's why I love the beauty of Demon Slayer. Then it's not only that, it's like all roads, all tools, like, lead to home. If you couldn't learn a certain style, then offshoots were created. You got like the insect breathing, snake breathing, sound breathing, wind wind is one of the main ones, or main elements, but that's still like a derivative. I was over here thinking about Avatar. I started going into Avatar, but and it's just crazy to me because, like, they're normal humans. So like when I think of the battle that happens in Entertainment District arc with the Upper Moon 6 demon, like, mind you, they haven't seen an Upper Moon for years, so they didn't even know like I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna leave it open, but they didn't even know what they were fighting up against. Like, they were just hoping that the Hashira of this generation, which they're built different, were gonna be ready to battle them when one showed up. When they ran into one, and go watch and you go find out. But the thing what's so just nuts is just that it's like really like how they be seeing that the demons are also them, and just like, oh, like, this demon reminds me of my little sister and you remind me of me, and really just showing the mirror reflections. They're showing kind of what I was talking about in the beginning, how the Satan and demons and all that thing is just you. It's just like Demon Slayer is so beautiful with that. And then when they fight in these stakes, I'm telling you, they're really getting ripped apart. Like, they're getting demolished. Like, they're just humans. And then there's the whole Demon Slayer mark, but I won't explain that. That's gonna be coming a little bit later. I mean, in the Entertainment District arc, it pops up, which is a little bit of a boost to their natural bodies, but that's honestly, it reminds me of like what Bruce Lee talks about, or like people going into the zone. That's almost like what the Demon Slayer mark reminds me of, which if you were able to do that, then yeah, in a sense, you wouldn't like the demon's abilities, it would put you on a kind of close to a level, but regardless, they don't get a crazy power up. And when the mark is manifested, you're supposedly supposed to die at 25. Like it's still they have to give their all to even touch the demons. Like it's crazy. And it's like another kind of like what is it? Is this shit like an allegory or but allegory? Allegory. Imagine that. But an allegory, I don't know what the fuck, alliteration, whatever the fuck the word is, like to real life where, or you could just draw the comparison to real life where you have to hone and discipline yourself so strong to the point where it's like, even if you make the slightest inch, it's just that amount of progress you got to be so proud of because that slight edge made you just even better than you were the moment before, you know. And it's like, even if you reach your peak, you still maintain that peak. And it's like the demons don't got that. And it's almost like it's the representation of that. They basically sold their soul and they just gained all this power. But still, they're showing that like this discipline of yourself. Now, I don't want to necessarily say hard work, just the discipline of their own mind to overcome obstacles and that other side of themselves. You know, it's just like, it's on some other shit. It's truly on some other shit. Honestly, I want to take this and make it its own thing because, like, Demon Slayer is fire. So I'll throw this in the podcast episode you're listening to now. But I'm gonna make this shit its own separate video because Demon Slayer is just so fire that this just got its own segment. But I'm really telling you, like, it really shows what you're going through when, like, people are like, oh, they're fighting their demons. Like, when you watch the Entertainment District arc, now the Hashira are built different. Like, the Hashira is where you're trying to be disciplined at in real life with yourself. Like, let me tell you right now. But the demon that they fight, the Upper Moon 6, matches the Hashira so well. Uzui Tengen. Like, literally, Gyutaro is the demon. And when you watch the fighting styles in the anime, like, it shows, like, the way they did it with such beautiful animation. It shows how they're both so similar in movements. Like, Uzui was a perfect match for fighting this motherfucker. And it's the most beautiful thing to see. But y'all have to understand how, like, amazingly handicapped they are. How I just put that. But you really have to understand the stakes. And I feel like that alone puts it above other shonen for me. I mean, just because, like, it's like, you know, you watch Naruto and shit and you know these motherfuckers gonna bust out some overpowered moon busting moves. But then in Demon Slayer, there's that sense of these motherfuckers have to fight like they're dead. Like, real life quotes. I think it was Miyamoto Musashi, where a quote is like, you gotta fight as if you're already dead. Like, that's almost like how the discipline in your mind should be daily. You should, like some David Goggins shit. You have to live as if you're already dead, like, be doing everything to the fullest. And they're really fighting in that fucking show as if they were dead because, like, the demons are on some nut shit. And I just feel like that's what puts it above, like, moon busting, planet busting motherfuckers that I've seen in other animes. I just feel like they're handicapped in such a cool way. Well, normally being human, but which is not a handicap. But then the handicap comes when you see the demons. It's like, oh shit, like, it's like your training might not even save you here. Like, you got to unlock something beyond. It's got to be a spiritual process. But that's it. But the animes have been kicking off lately, and yeah. Oh man, I got to talking about Demon Slayer for so long, but there's so many great animes and shit out there to watch, and indulge in, and find your own little lessons and things that make you think about life in this battle of our own consciousness, you versus you, that we're in. Movies too, man. Some great movies I've seen recently is like the Django Unchained, or Django Unchained. I pronounced the D, but it's silent. The Django. Django Unchained. That shit was fire. And that little video I watched that I got recommended of Quentin Tarantino explaining, like, his come up. I don't know, man. It just different. But yeah, Django Unchained, Inception, Revolver, all insane movies. Movies that really make you think. Like, oh man. And then I'm hearing people break down Riddick 2, and it's just like, there's also, like, not Riddick 2, but Riddick as well. And I did not watch Riddick yet, but my two bros watched Riddick. And there's even, like, wild stuff in Riddick 2. I asked my bro while he was watching. I was like, yo, you decoding Riddick and stuff, because it's fun after you watch these things for entertainment. When you go back and decode these things, it's so crazy. One more animated honorable mention that I watched recently and funny just for comedy is Inside Job and Dragon Age Absolution. Holy moly. If you guys are into animated stuff, those are the bangers. If you're into the deep thinkers, the Inception, Revolver, and all that stuff is really good if you can like relate it to yourself. And they're just really good, genuinely. Oh, and Tenet. Oh, Tenet made me feel like I was on something, bro. Like on one. Oh man, Tenet was nuts. Tenet was nuts. I don't know, Christopher Nolan. That man is an occultist. Oh, my alarm. Occultist through and through. See, if you don't know, I'm gonna put y'all on game with this whole alarm thing. You set an alarm for every single hour to remind yourself to like affirm or things to be grateful about, etc., etc. Oh, now as we're saying that, one of my YouTube videos got copyright claimed. Which one? No, Carnival Hunt. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, I just dropped all the videos. By the time of this video that you're hearing this, I dropped every single video that I had in store for the rest of the month. And I said, you know what, screw it. It'll make me feel like, getting up and still putting other videos out. But I had a video for every day this month, and I got a couple into the start of next month. But I said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to drop them all. So I dropped them all. Because I just said, you know what, man, screw this whole thing, I'm just going to do me. I'm going to do me. But yeah, movies that I've been wanting to see, and I just didn't go and watch it, are like Bullet Train. There's a couple ones coming out. There's one coming out with the one guy that plays Luke Cage and also plays that one where he's in the church. I can't wait for that, but it's like Airplane or whatever. I don't know what it's called. But these movies are really dope, man. Going back to anime for a second. Film Red. Have y'all seen Film Red? Film Red is quite the banger from what I've heard. my one bro gets mad at me all just the time for not going, but man, I was in a point in time where I didn't think I could have fun, man. I couldn't have fun, man. But I do wish I seen Film Red. I do wish I seen Film Red. Seen bits and pieces of it because I took up like a little side job just working at a movie theater, so I was secretly walking in and out and watching it for free. But yeah, Film Red. But that Film Red. But it's a bangers out there that you guys know about. PMO. Put me on down below. Put me on to some movies. There's one that I gotta see with oh no. Well, I wanted to mention it, but people are probably gonna think it's this new movie, so I don't actually want to mention him, so never mind. But Memento was another good movie. Mandela Effect. That was cool. Mandela was cool. It was either called Mandela or Mandela Effect. That one was crazy. That one was cool. That one was really, really cool to me. Yeah, I don't know. That's really it for the movie portion. There's just a lot of cool things coming out. I'm mostly on the anime. I love the animated stuff. Love it. Jujutsu Kaisen. Man, Fire Force. So many series for anime are coming out. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I kind of want to talk about the games now, but I can't wait for this year's survival games, but yeah. Anyways, that's it for movies and anime and stuff. Tell me what kind of fire things y'all been watching drop them down below if y'all really good. There's like so much to say. There's like honorable mentions for the throwback ones. Haven't watched Cowboy Bebop, but what do I think about? Samurai Champloo, fire. Is it Poyo? or Poyo was one. There's just like a few others. There's a fire. There's a really old school ones that had like really deep meaning. Spirited Away, that's another honorable mention. But yeah, I know there's more fire movies. There's a plethora of horror movies. I love horror movies that I can mention, but I can't think of too many ones right now. One that always pops up in my mind is The Midnight Man. That one was just so crazy to me because then we actually tried to do the challenge. But yeah. Alright. Moving on. To wrap up and finish up this lovely fake album I did here. Like a long form personal podcast. I guess I will talk a little bit about the state of the world and just where I'm at and just, yeah, I'll wrap up. It's a particularly interesting time for me. I've seen the law of attraction, anything. I just like calling it reality being an emotional mirror. So I'm just going to stick with that. With reality being an emotional mirror, I've seen the most beautiful things create over the last year for me. I have gotten over the hump of knowing what, or experiencing what I do want and experiencing what I don't want, and knowing how to almost like pick your poison in a way so you mitigate things that you got to go through and truly wave through this whole thing. And let me tell you right now, as corny as it sounds, love wins at the end of the day. Love wins at the end of the day. And that's why the powers of the world, they're so scared of love ultimately taking over, right? And I feel like a lot of the distractions that exist here are to distract you from loving one another. 100%. 100%. It's funny that in animes and some of these shows, they truly joke. They truly joke about it being the key, about it being the answer, and things of that nature. But I just think it's really funny that it's actually that corny key that we all like to joke about, you know. Yeah, I used to see TikTok as being so cringy, right? But funny enough, coming from a dancer, retired, I like to joke and say retired, but retired dancer, I thought it was actually a beautiful thing to see so many people, even if it's copying each other's dances, but making dances trend. And almost like dancing was taking over the world, almost like in a funny way where like they were like, oh my gosh, it's going to become everything. I seen a meme where a guy was like, he took all the TikTok dancing clips that he would see from construction workers to Starbucks workers to like Target workers, like even dentists, doctors, nurses, and like he compiled it in the video and being like, this is the world, this is the state of the world. And I just thought it was so funny. And I really thought it was super funny because it's like, yo, I used to actually think back to the days where I kind of wish the whole entire world was like like a not like a flash mob, but it was like Stomp the Yard in movies like that. And in a weird way, TikTok is like that collective manifestation of that, because it's like everybody just enjoys themselves in it, and anyone can really call anything you like kind of cringe, so it's just funny. But I do feel like there's also the downside of it, the two sides of every coin, where it is also in a place where it absorbs the lives of people. And I think truly these things are just meant to be enjoyed for a time being, but then the point is to bring the dance back into nature, bring it back outside, you know, really get back in tune with everything. And I feel like that has definitely been me recently. I actually seen that it's a super sunny day outside, so I'm definitely going out to shoot videos. But yeah, it's just it's wild. It's literally wild how it is. And it's just like everyone is just, you know, at least I say it like this, for the ones that are using the platforms to dance and just spread their art, spread their creativity, or whatever it may be. It's cool how it's all compiled, minus what is it, the Chinese government stealing all the information. I mean, all this surveillance and everything is gonna go on. It's gonna happen, but that's what I mean, how there's always like the good thing and then the bad frequency like following right behind it or right under it, the higher and lower frequencies. But it's just like, what side you want to be on. But me, I don't know if I'll ever get into TikTok. Maybe if I had someone particular to do it with. But and someone particular right now is being a sleepyhead. Anyways, yeah. And I truly just think the state of the world is weird. It's weird, right? But also the world is the one you pay attention to. The more attention you give to something, it's going to grow. And that's why they pump all this fear and propaganda in the news. And it's just like, it's like you can really see the agenda behind it with half of the things they do. And sometimes, like, you can start to catch on to, like, CNN and all these news headlines are literally copying and pasting each other and shit like that. And it's the funniest thing. And sometimes I really think, like, it's just like, I wonder how like stupid they really think everyone is. It's crazy. Because they'll like put it right in front of your face. I mean, easily be able to fool you and be like, nah, that shit was just a joke, fam. It was just fake. Like, and start scratching their neck. And it's just like, damn. If we're in the state of the world because the people have the power, and it's really because of the people, and the people won't connect and like stand up, it's like, damn, that's really sad. It's really the masses is really lost. And I truly feel like this. When everyone at the end of the day surrenders to love or surrenders to the wave of nature and how things ebb and flow, that you would see the ultimate change if we started to focus on ourselves more. And hands down, love would win. But where it's at, I don't know if the entire world would change. I believe that in our little micro circuits or our little compiled groups that we have, that we would definitely, or we like the little efforts that everyone's doing, the people with the really good relationships, the people that are just attracting abundance, will ultimately, because of their efforts and this being a collective consciousness, will shift the balance. But sometimes I really get stuck in my mind thinking that there is no point to shift the balance. Like, not there is no point to shift the balance, because it could be way worse, but there's a line that you just don't cross with trying to change this, because you may end up literally losing your mind. I mean, even from everything I do as intent, like with my YouTube channel, and the intention behind the very fabric of the YouTube channel is to try to bring that just a little bit of light back, a little bit of light from it within me to affect the system in a good way. And yeah, I feel like that's what I know to do best. And yeah, and if you get too deep, putting the whole world on your shoulders, you really start to lose your mind, man. There's been nights where I stayed up maybe like 4 or 5 in the morning just sitting here looking at the wall like, damn, the fuck is this? But that's when you throw love in the mix, it's so different. It's so different. You almost like understand why you go through all this. It's almost like everything in your life begins to line up. And it's like, it's just beautiful. I cannot understand it. It's like, and that's the thing too, is when you truly start to realize the love around you, whether it be something like a friend you had for years, whether it be you had really good parents or whatever it may be, it could be a boss at work, could be anything. You truly know that feeling. You hold on to that feeling, because reality is an emotional mirror. So it's about capturing the feeling and stay in that. Regardless of positives and negatives, the negatives are always going to be there, but it's what you pay attention to. So, it's what you want to bring in more. And I'm starting to understand that wave a lot more. And as of events have been taking place in my life as of recently, I definitely know what I want to pay attention to. Like more than not. That's how I'm going to word it. I definitely know way more now that I want to experience, and just understanding that they're two ends of the same stick. It's just really what side of the stick you're going to look at.
So I'm gonna hold the positive and look at the negative. Not pay any mind. I'm be like, that side of the stick is jagged. Looks rough over there. Not gonna hold that. But it would be good for attacking. That's a funny analogy I just made because I just really think about that. And it's like that's how you do it. You transmute negative, lower emotions, lower vibrations into your power, into your fuel. I really had to do that recently too. And man, the tests, the absolute tests. Trials, man. It just makes me think about the song. This song that recently was in the Valorant trailer I reacted to. I don't know. That shit's insane, man. The song is by, I think, Nightmare, and I don't know. It's called Trials. The truth in that song, man. I've been through many different type of trials. That shit is... But how he said in the song, the crib is heavenly, and even like messing with him is heavenly. That's just... That is the vibe I am on, and I'm never coming down. I'm never coming down. And now I get the song. Wow, I get the song. I think Big Sean's in it. I don't know if it's a Big Sean song, but I get it now. I'm way up. I feel blessed. That's crazy. Wow. That might be... Well, I know Drake's in it, but that's crazy. Now I get it. It's really a higher frequency. It's crazy. But yeah, I hope this little album podcast, I think, helps you set the tone for the rest of the year to experience what you want, because you truly are creating your reality, and every little thing that happens to you daily, day by day, is created by your mind. It could be something that pops up and you're like, oh, why'd this happen? And you never know that it could be something you're just not dealing with subconsciously, something that you still have to work out, your little things. We're always working on things, always learning. We wouldn't even be able to be here if you've learned it all about yourself. I don't think you initially die when you learn everything about yourself. I think that, I don't know, a complete and total awareness is, as everyone says, it's like God, it's your imagination. So I don't think down here you can come to complete and total awareness. I think you just get to a point where it's like, okay, I have complete control of my flows, and then you just enjoy your life with that. And then, shit, don't come back here. Come to a better version of Earth. But I don't even know what a better version of Earth literally means to me, because it's like, damn. It's like when you bring that force down here, what force are we talking about, ladies and gentlemen? When you truly experience love down here, it's like unlike no other. It's just like you start to begin to understand who's your people, who's your tribe. It's different. It is so different. It's so different. It is literally different. I don't know what it is. I'm over here looking at this sunny day outside, and I'm like, bro, somehow it's brighter. And it's crazy because I love rainy days. And it's like, I think rainy days from this point forward are going to feel even better. It feels like weights were just lifted off me with a choice. So freaking beautiful. It's crazy. It's so crazy. It's just so crazy. Yeah. So crazy. So crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah. Feels nuts. feels actually nuts. Feels so nuts. I'm happy. I'm finally in a state where I'm always gonna look forward to achieving more. Now the goal is my best friend and I. Should we talk about the goals in the video? Should we talk about the goals? I just know when you announce your goals, if you don't have the willpower to withstand everyone who will hear those goals, then like you shouldn't be talking about them. Just move in silence. But I'm telling you, we got some big plans on the way. Yeah, that's all I'll say. We got some big plans on the way. Definitely moves to be made. Definitely not ignoring that this whole process of life, whatever you believe in, whether it to be one long prayer, one long meditation, one big ass movie, is to live that shit completely to the fullest. Hands down, in full confidence. Move every day in full, complete confidence, not a shadow of a doubt. It's funny, it's I don't even know if that's a saying, if it's a shadow of a doubt, but now I understand that saying. I just thought about it. Doubts move in the shadows. They'll come out when you least expect it. Fuck doubts. You know what this shit is. But that'll be the wrap up pretty much. I think I'm coming to the end. I don't got much more to say. It truly is love at the end of the day, and it truly is one, confidence in everything going to work out for you, because you came down here to experience the life you want to experience. You came down here, man. And I'm not too religious, but I just laugh at the Bible being broken down now and people discovering. Also another dancer, Neville Goddard, him breaking down the Bible. But the Bible says it, man, ye are gods. What you think? You're made in the image. So act like it, walk like it, know that you're blessed. You know, you don't have to flaunt it. You don't have to walk around in people's face and be like, by the way, did you know I'm blessed? But you better know and capture that shit so inside you and so unwavering that you just know you're going to create anything. And I've always had that deep feeling within myself, but everything's a process. Everything is time. And when it truly starts aligning and working out, it's a beautiful process. Everything snowballs at that point when you're on the right frequency. And it's so funny. The whole avalanche thing and snowballing is like, you really know it's two different things. Things just start snowballing for the better, snowballing for the worse. I'll let you know right now, when they start snowballing for the better, you don't want to get off that snowball. You want to suffocate in the snow. Anyways, yeah. That's pretty much it from me. Enjoy this long form podcast. This will be the last part. I may do more of these if you guys like them. But yeah. Enjoy. And as always, much love and moonlight.